Vivara lover. Yeah, I saw your message. You said hi 3 times. We'll be starting off with P5 math today. Hello, hello. Good to see you. So I'm just gonna wait another minute um, for more people to join in first. So we will update you guys soon regarding the change of schedule. Okay, so for our TikTok live, there will be a change in our schedule very soon. Okay, today Kahoot, not for math, yeah, science. Kahoot today will be for P6 science, which will be from 7 to 8 o'clock. YZLX, hello. Oh, okay, CW, you'll be staying throughout the 3 hours. Justin? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Justin. So shall we start? We'll be doing a term 2 revision today. Yes, Justin, I remember your dad's username. You finally have your own account, is it? Third life of Kiki, hello. So shall we begin? You guys can try the first question. The mass of object A is 1.8 kg. The mass of object B is 3 kg 30 grams. Find their total mass and your answer has to be in kilograms. Yeah, please try it out. Kahoot will not be for math. Kahoot will be for science today. Those of you who are asking. Milk tea for the P5 math, we will end by 6 o'clock. Then 6 o'clock, it will be P6 math. All right, so whoever has the answer, please send it in the chat box. Question 1, what's the answer? Some of you should have done the worksheet beforehand, right? Okay, Pei Fong Wilson noted your answers. Anyone else has the answer for this question? Okay, and so yeah, I think you guys are done with the first one. Huh? Let's go through the answer and see whether all of you are correct because all of you have the same answer. So since they want it in terms of kilogram, then this 3 kg 30 grams, I want to change this into kilograms first. So this will be 3030 grams, which is 3.03 kilograms. After that, then I can add both of them together, A plus B. So this will be 1.8 kg plus 3.03 kg, and then you will get 4.83 as the answer. So this is option 3, like all of you said. So all of you are correct. Nobody gave a different answer. Yeah, which is excellent. Yeah, nice. Okay, everybody got it. Okay, so you guys can try the second question. The figure shows a rectangular glass box that is partly stacked with some unit cubes. How many unit cubes are there inside this box? Give your 30 seconds. Send in your answer. This question, there's different answers. So I see some of you say option 3, some of you say option 4. These are the two main answers so far. Okay. Right, so let's see whether option 3 or option 4 is correct. When it comes to counting cubes, I would suggest you count it layer by layer. Let me zoom in for you guys. Okay. So when I count the top layer, I have 1, 2, 3. So you should write it down first. There's 3 in the top layer. And then you can also highlight the bottom layer using a different color and then I'll count it at the same time. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So bottom layer has 10. Then you take 3 plus 10, you get 13. Okay, so the answer is 13, which is option 3 for this. Yeah. Those of you who say option 4 is likely just a careless mistake. Okay, so you need to be a little bit more careful when you are counting it. Yeah, so those of you who said 3 then is correct. We move on. Okay, so next one, you guys can try this first. You will need to do some calculations for this because calculators are not allowed, right? So do your own manual calculation. Justin, you didn't learn volume yet, is it? In school? Okay, so those of you who learn volume already, you can attempt this question. So Justin, you haven't learned volume, is okay. You just listen and then try to understand. Okay, you should learn it in school very soon. So few who have learned, what should your answer be for this question? Or maybe some of you are still calculating. Oh, okay. Sinalish, you just started learning volume in school. Okay. Another 30 seconds for you to send in your answers. Okay, so I'm seeing 3 answers so far. Okay, 4 answers, 5 answers. Last 10 seconds. CW, you will just send in your answer once. Okay, if not, TikTok thinks that you're trying to spam. Right, so let's read this. There is a tank that is 50 by 10 by 25 cm. It was filled with 3.4 liters of water at first. A pail of water is then poured into this tank and then the tank became half filled. So how much water was there in the pail? To solve this question, I will suggest you find out what is half of the tank first. So when the tank is half filled, you can use half times the length, the breadth, and the height of this tank. Okay, because the formula for volume is length times breadth times height. So I will use half times 50 times 10 times 25. That will give me the volume when it is half filled. Yeah, so you should have gotten 6,250 cm cube for this. But because they want it in liters, so you should change this into liters by dividing by 1,000. This is 6.25 liters. And then you need one more step, right, to find out the water in the pail. What do you guys think the next step is? You just need one more step to get the answer. So what is this step? Is it a plus, a minus, times or divide sort of equation? Okay, Michael says minus. That's right. Pei Feng says minus as well, right? So you're going to use 6.25 liters, then you minus the 3.4 liters, which was there originally. So once you minus, you will get 2.85 liters, which is the water in the pail that you poured inside. Yeah, so this is the answer, 2.85. This would be option 1. Yeah, so most of you did get this right. I saw many option 1s just now in the chat. The Lish and Life of Kiki, are you guys okay? Okay, Life of Kiki, you want me to explain the pail thing, is it? Okay, so you have 6.25 liters, which is the amount of water in the end. So you will take the amount of water in the end minus the 3.4 liters at first. Then you will get 2.85 liters, which is the increase. So why was there increase? Because you poured the water from the pail, right? Yeah, so this 2.85 liters is the water in the pail. Okay, so you take the water in the end minus the water at first, then you get the water in the pail. Yeah, Justin, you're listening, is it? All right. Any other questions for number 3? Capybara lover, no questions. Okay, can. The leash means yes. Yes means what? You have a question or no question? Kuromi, there is there P6? Yes, P6 is after this. Right now we're doing P5. Kuromi, what do you mean by worksheet? The leash you got 2.85 in a different way. Okay, using a different method, is it? Okay, user 745 is there Kahoot? For science, yes. P6 science later. Not for math today, okay? Any other questions? I'm looking at the chat to see if you guys have any more questions. Okay, all good. Let's move on. So that was our MCQ. Now we can look at our short answer question. Hi, Arisa. Thanks for joining. Okay, so please try question 4. Find the volume of a cube of side 6 cm each. So Cinderlish, you're still at the previous question, is it? Oh, you weren't done. I see. Okay, no problem. I can scroll it up for you. You want to copy my answer? You can. So, Cinderlish, you can copy the answer. Oh, you need just need explanation. Okay, but I thought I already explained it just now. You're sending in your alternate working, is it? Okay, but there's too many messages. It's a bit hard to keep track of the messages. Okay, you use a different method. Yeah, if you got the same answer, then it should be fine. Anyway, because it's MCQ, right? You'll just be marked on your final answer. Okay, but likely if you have the same final answer, likely it's correct. So the rest of you are just sending in answer, right? For question 4. Far most of you have the same value. Okay, so let's check if your answers are correct. For cube, you know that what's so special about a cube is that all edges or all sides are the same length. So a cube is basically like a 3D square. Okay, so that means that the length, the breadth, and the height of this cube is all 6 cm. So if you use the formula for volume, volume equals to length times breadth times height, and then all of it is 6 cm. Yes, it's equal. So you just use 6 times 6 times 6. Okay, you will get 216 for this. So the unit is cm cube. Yeah, cm cube. Okay, so Kiki, you're saying for volume, the unit is cm cube. That's correct. For area, it is cm square. Yes, that's correct. Okay, so make sure you write down the correct units when it is problem sums. Okay, but since this is section B, you don't need to write out your own units. It's already provided for you. But just take note. In the list, you want to write 3 bracket 6. I don't think can leh. Because 3 bracket 6 technically means 3 times 6, which is 18. 6 cube root. Okay, 6 cube root is not correct, huh? Okay, so take note of your presentation. Yeah, Cinderlish. Please don't write it as 3 bracket 6. It's different. Yeah, so however, if you want to write it as x to the power of 3, then yes, this is correct. Cinderlish, I think this is what you mean, is it? 6 to the power of 3 is correct, but you don't learn this in primary school yet, so I would suggest you don't write it like this. Just write it as 6 times 6 times 6. Okay? Yes, in the list, cube root is not 6 times 6 times 6. Yeah. So just take note of the presentation. You guys have a lot of questions today, which is good. It means you're paying attention and you're actually thinking about the question. All right, so we're moving on to number 5, which is area of triangle. Okay, so I'll give you some time to solve this first. Oh, sorry, YZLX, you're still copying, is it? No problem. Let me scroll back up for you. B, I'm sorry, I can't scroll back to section A to show you all the answers. Yeah, because we need to move on. So make sure you join the TikTok live on time, okay? Secret life of Kiki is because YZLX is copying question 4. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll to question 5, huh? So I think most of you have already sent in your answers. Let me take a quick look first. Okay, Cinderly should send me the working as well. All right. Most of you just send the final answer. Okay. Hmm. So I would say most of you are correct. Just one or two wrong answers, but most of you are correct. Okay, that's great. So let's check this. For area of triangle, you need to use this formula, half times base times height. So looking at this triangle, you need to find the base and the height first. It's the base, okay? So the base is made up of 10 cm plus another 2 cm. So your base over here is actually 12 cm. Let me write it down. Yeah, so between your base and a height, there must be a right angle. If you look at the diagram, this is where the right angle is. So that means that 4 cm should be your height. Between your base and the height, there is a right angle. Then after that, let's put it into the formula. Half times 12 times 4. You calculate this and then you should get 24 as the answer. Yeah, so I think most of you got this right, which is great. Yes, great. Height is 4, you're correct. For this, any questions? I think it's a rather straightforward question. Life of Kiki says the 5 cm is a distraction. Yes, of course. Some people will be tricked, right? And then they will use 5 cm in the calculation. Yeah. So not all numbers you need to use. Use the correct numbers. Any other questions? Or you guys are good? Pretty okay? Shall we move on? Okay. Next one here. So again, I will let you all try it first. Arrange the following numbers from the largest to the smallest. Arisana, yes. Yeah, you were here 2 weeks ago, right? Okay, so some of you are sending in the the options. Okay, that takes a lot of effort. Very good. You can also just send me the sequence. That's fine. Yeah. So for example, is it number one, number three, number four, number two? What's the sequence? That is also okay. If you don't want to type everything out. Yeah, most of you are sending me the sequence, which is fine. I mean, it saves time. All right. Yes, I think most of you are correct. Let's take a look at this. So largest to smallest, huh? You are given a mixture of decimal and fractions. So I would suggest you just choose one, okay, and then stick to it. So do you prefer to use fraction or you prefer to use decimal? Up to you. I would think decimal is easier to compare. Okay, so I'm going to change everything into decimal. So for example, 4 whole 1/5, you can times 2 to change it into 4 whole 2/10, then it becomes 4.2. So I'm going to make it all into decimal. Then after that, for 4 whole 1 over 500, you can times 2. You'll get 4 whole 2 over 1000, which is 4.002. Yeah, so now you have all decimal, right? It's easier to see which is the largest. The largest should be 4.5, followed by 4.2. Okay, now is this correct? What do you guys think? Is there something wrong with the answer? What's wrong with the answer? Who can point out what is wrong with the answer? Yeah, okay, so you guys are saying that it's wrong. Okay, but what's wrong? Why can't I write 4.2? Yeah, so instead of 4.2, okay, Zizazo says has to be the original form. Yes, correct. Okay, so this is a very common mistake. Many students will forget to use the original value that is given. Okay, so in this question, your original value should be 4 whole 1/5. Yes, okay, so always make sure to double check this. Yeah, if not, they will definitely mark you wrong. Right, so anyway, that is the second one. Your third one should be 4.05. And then finally, your smallest one is 4, 1 over 500. Again, use the original form. Okay, so that will be your answer for this question. Okay, so again, I will suggest you change it to decimal. Decimal is easier to compare which one is bigger, which one is smaller. Fraction is a little bit harder to compare. Any questions for this? If not, we can move on. Any question? No? Alright, let's go. Next page. Number 7. So the number of stickers that Alex has is 6 times the number of stickers Mabel has. Alex has 372 stickers. How many stickers must Alex give to Mabel so that both of them will have the same number of stickers in the end? Right, so please try this. Let me know the answer in the chat. Zizazo, semantic is English related. Okay, so we are talking about math. Yeah. You can ask the English teacher during the English TikTok live. Okay? Few who have already done the worksheet beforehand, you should be able to send me the answer immediately. Yeah, correct. There's English TikTok tomorrow. Okay. So some of you are sending me the final answer. Some of you are sending me the steps. Both are okay. I will just take a quick look at your answers. Yeah, so some of you are taking a bit longer because you're trying to send me your working steps. It's okay. Yeah. Shall we go through this? Because I see most of you did get it correct. I will use units for this question, okay? So if Alex is 6 times, Alex would be 6 units. Mabel would be 1 unit. So Alex is 6 units, and you know that Alex is 372. After that, of course, you can find 1 unit by dividing by 6. 1 unit is 62. So Mabel is 62. For this type of question, you want to find the difference between these two persons and then just take the difference, divide by 2. All right. So to find the difference, I would use Alex minus Mabel. Difference usually means minus. So their difference is 310. So this means that Alex has 310 more than Mabel. So is Alex going to give all 310 to Mabel? The answer is no. He's only going to give half. He's going to give half to Mabel and then he'll keep half for himself. Okay, so that's how he's going to make sure that they have equal stickers. Give half, keep half for himself. You're going to divide by 2. And then that's how you get 155 as the answer. Okay, so some of you ask, can you use algebra to solve this? Well, you can, but I would say it's not necessary. Units is fine. Or even if you don't want to use units, just a normal calculation is good enough. Okay, this is technically not an algebra question. Any other questions you guys have? Yes, user 745, that's the correct working. Yes, in the list, the working is correct. It's actually the same as what I'm doing. 6 unit minus 1 unit is actually 372 minus 62. So we have the same working actually. So if no questions, let's look at the next one. All right, so over here, a beaker is 1/3 filled with water at first. After pouring 540 milliliters of water into the beaker is now half filled. So what is the capacity of the beaker? Your answer should be in liters. Okay, so take some time to send in your answer or work on this question on the spot. I will take a look at the chat. Zizazol, yes, I would do that as well as my first step. Lish, I think your fraction should be swapped, right? You can't use a smaller fraction minus a bigger fraction, right, Cinderlish? Yeah, so those of you who are sending me the final answer, that's fine as well. You want to send the working, that's okay as well. I will check for you. Ryan, hello, thanks for joining. Okay, another maybe 15 more seconds for whoever wants to participate. Kiki, that's a typo, is it? Okay, yeah, most of you have the same answer. So let's check. So just now Zizazo told me that his first step would be to use half minus one third. That's correct. I would do that as well. So I'm trying to find out what is the increase in terms of fraction. At first it's one third, in the end it's half. So you are supposed to use the bigger fraction minus the smaller fraction to find out what is the increase in the fraction. So make your denominator the same. You should have 3 6 minus 2 6 equals to 1 6. So you poured 540 milliliters of water. So 540 milliliters is the increase. So that means that 1 6 represents the 540 milliliters. Okay, so the fraction increased by 1 6 and the volume increased by 540 milliliters. So these two things must be equal to one another. You're trying to find the capacity. So capacity refers to the entire thing. That means you want to find one whole, which is 6 over 6. So all you need to do is times 6 for this. And then you will get 3240 milliliters. Your final answer, please convert it to liters. It should be 3.24 liters. Question is quite well done. Yeah, I would say just now about 90 over percent of you got it correct, which is great. Okay. Cinderlish, I can't really help you with that leh, because I think it's a TikTok doesn't want you to send too long messages. They think that you're trying to spam me. Yeah, yeah, correct, correct. So I know that you want to send me the working, but TikTok just thinks that you're trying to spam. Yeah, you know, it's a TikTok setting. I'm not too sure how to help you with that. Okay, user 317, what time class start? We started at 5 o'clock. We will end at 6 o'clock for P5 math. Okay, so right now it's P5 math. User 317, which day is P6, is it? You will have to check our schedule. Yeah, I'm not too sure also. But anyway, we're going to change our schedule very, very soon. Okay, so please watch out for the updates. Mm. Okay, before we move on to the next few questions, we're supposed to have a break, right? Okay, let's just have a shorter break today. 3 minutes will do. Okay, 3 minutes break, and then we have about three more questions. The leaves don't need break. I don't know. Some of you might need a break. I mean, if you need to go to the toilet or something. Oh, B, you want to see section A? Sure. Okay, now I can show you section A. But of course, I always recommend that you guys come on time, okay, for the live, so that you don't miss out the front parts. Because for live, we don't upload the videos, right? It's in the list. Why need break? In because some students might need to use the restroom. YZLX, yes, I do remember you. I think because some of them might be watching on their iPad, or I don't know. They might not be watching on phone. And also some of them might not want to bring the phone to the toilet. Okay, B. You want to see question 3, is it? B, no problem. Another update, there will not be primary math TikTok live 2 weeks later. Yeah, because I will be away. Yeah. So there will be nobody to do the primary math TikTok live, okay? 2 weeks later. So our next one will be 1 month later. Mm. So just take note on of that. Yes, in the list. Yeah, that's right. Right, you want to see question 17? There's no question 17 here, leh, if I'm not wrong. Right, there's no question 17. Okay, so your next primary math TikTok live will be 1 month later. Right, my name is teacher Felicia. It's in the list, why cannot? Everybody needs to take a break, right? Once in a while. Yes, Greg, nice to meet you as well. Yeah, fair enough, right? Okay, let's move on, everybody. Let's move on. Next. Question 9. Teacher Jen brings her class of 40 children to the bird park. So what is the least total amount of money paid for this excursion? For this question, you're going to use grouping. Okay, so the concept is grouping. Let me know your answers in the chat. Let's take a look. Okay. You guys are sending in different answers so far, just saying. Singlish set method, is it? I would think that's the same as grouping. Yeah, it's just a different name, but the working should be the same. Okay. I think this question, not many people got it right, huh? There's one important step that I think a lot of you missed out. Okay, so let's go through this. I'm gonna use grouping. So how to use grouping for this question? If you buy five, you get one free. So 5 plus 1 is 6. Okay, so I will let 6 tickets be one group. So I'm going to use 40 divide by 6 tickets in one group. So you divide, you will get 6 remainder 4. Your quotient, which is 6, is the number of groups. Okay, so let's calculate how much 6 groups would cost. Remember that 1 group is when you buy 5 tickets and then you get one free. So you're only paying for 5 tickets. So that will be 5 times 1250, which is 6250. 6250 is for one group. And then based on this, you're supposed to have 6 groups. So you need to times 6 to this value. After you times, you will get 375. After that, your remainder, there's remainder 4, right? That means that you still have 4 tickets that you need to buy individually. So that will be 4 times 1250, which is $50. Yeah. So after that, you're gonna add it together, 375 plus 50. So I think this is the step where a lot of you missed out something. You all know what you missed out? These two numbers add together, isn't it only the children tickets? There is a teacher who is bringing the children to the bird park. Yeah, correct. There's teacher Jen. So teacher Jen is an adult. So that means you actually need to add $18.50 for teacher Jen's ticket. So I think a lot of you missed this out. That's why you didn't get the correct answer, which is 443.50. Yeah, that's the final answer. Also, because we're talking about money, please do not write 443.5. Money needs to be in terms of two decimal place. Okay, so do take note of that. Yeah, so I think many of you have 425 as the answer. If you get 425, that means that you forgot to add teacher Jen. So I think that's a common mistake for this question. Singlish, I will see how. Okay. Huh? Why if teacher Jen is a child? Oh, huh. I don't think so. Teacher Jen should be an adult. I mean, do you guys have any teachers who are children? I don't think so, right? Yeah. Okay, so normally teacher Jen should be an adult, right? Are you sure have? Hmm? All of you say yes. Are you sure have or not? You're just bluffing me, right? Okay, anyway, you want to look at our problem sums? Many of you say teacher is a child, Really? Volunteer, ayo. Okay, then we'll just think of it as normally, okay? Normally, your teacher in school is an adult, okay? Normally. Yep. Right, so let's do a problem sums. You can actually use calculator for this question. So it's actually quite simple. You have the breadth of a rectangle, which is 22 over 3. The length is 5 over 2 cm longer than the breadth. What is the length of the rectangle? Give your answer as an improper fraction. And then for part B, what is the area of the rectangle? Give your answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. So I will give you guys some time to send in your answers. Can you use calculator for this? Okay, Cinderlish, I will try to take note. Thanks for the concern. Yeah. Send in the answer in terms of fraction, you can use the slash, okay? Slash would be for fraction. Okay, so far only Michael sending the answer. What about the rest of you? Anyone else has the answer? Hmm. Okay. You actually send me the correct answer, but not in the correct form. So for example, part A, they want it as an improper fraction, right? Some of you are sending me a mixed number. So you do have to read the question very carefully. Just like that, just one mark will be gone just like that. B, you can't send in comments, is it? I'm not too sure about that. Maybe it's a TikTok might have banned you from commenting for some weird reason. Hmm. Okay, so some of you are changing your answer after I hint to you to give in terms of improper fraction. Yep, so let's take a look. So actually part A is just one step, isn't it? You just need to take the breadth and then you plus 5 over 2. Because the length is longer, so you need to plus in order to get the length, which is longer. Anyway, you don't need to make the denominator the same because you don't need to manually calculate this, right? Just put into the calculator. The calculator will tell you is 59 over 6. That's it. And remember to put the cm. Now, if you give the answer as a mixed number in part A, you will not get the final answer mark. Okay, what about part B? Part B also just one step. Again, you can use a calculator. What would the answer be? B wants it as a mixed number this time. So feel free to send in your answers. Hmm? Singlish, I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Hmm. Maybe heard wrongly. Hmm. W, your answer isn't it for part A? Not the answer for part B, right? Singlish, maybe you heard wrongly. I don't think I said something like that. Yeah. Right, so for part B, you want to find area. So area would just be length times breadth. You already have the length, which is 59 over 6. Then you times the breadth, which is 22 over 3. So if this was not a problem sum, you would have to cross cancel and calculate this manually. But since it is a problem sum, you just key this whole thing into the calculator. It will give you 649 over 9, and then just change it to a mixed number, which is 72 and 1 over 9. Okay, so that's your final answer, 72, 1 over 9. The unit for this is cm square. Okay, so take note for area is a cm square. See, I'm not sure what you're asking. Why isn't it a mixed number? My answer is a mixed number. You mean in your calculator, is it? I think your calculator might give you so you're asking for A, is it? Oh, okay. See, because for A, didn't the instructions already say give your answer as an improper function? Okay, this one. Yeah. So usually you will give it in terms of a mixed number, but because this question specifically wants it as an improper, that's why. Okay. Hmm. Read the instructions carefully. Yeah. So if no questions for this, let's look at our last problem sum, which is actually a bit tricky. It's one of our tougher questions in the past few TikTok lives, right? So you might want to pay attention for this. So Silas and Dave, two of them, had a total of $1,800 at first. Silas spent twice as much money as Dave. Dave had twice as much money left as Silas. The money that Dave had left was $60 more than what he had spent. So how much money did Silas have at first? Okay, guys, let's be nice in the chat, right? And then we focus on the question. For this question, I would suggest you draw a model. Okay, let's draw a model for each person, Silas and Dave. So I'm going to draw for what they spent first. You know that Silas spent twice as much money as Dave. So if you draw that, it will just look something like this. Make sure you label, this is what Silas spent. This is what Dave spent. All right, so you're done with this sentence. Okay, so for the next part, Dave had twice as much money left as Silas. You actually can't draw that in the model yet because you don't even know what Dave has left. Correct? So you can't draw what Silas has left. So actually you have to skip the information. You need to skip to the last sentence first, okay? Which is what David had left was $60 more than what he had spent. You can draw the model for this because you already know what Dave spent. So what he had left was $60 more. This is what he spent, and then you just add another 60. So this is what he had left. Okay, so I'm done with the last sentence. After that, then you go back up to the previous sentence. So the previous sentence said Dave has twice as much money left as uh, Silas. So you take a look at this. This is what Dave has left, right? So this amount that I circled is actually twice of what Silas has left. So how do I split this amount into half? You will have to cut the unit. Okay? So then you are going to cut the unit now. When you cut the unit, you also have to make sure to cut the value into half. So for 60, if you cut it into half, you divide by 2, it's actually 30. Okay, like this. So then you can label this. This is what Dave has, Silas has left. For the other units, make sure you cut it to the same size. So that means each unit, you have to split it into two as well, like this. And then all you need to do is their total amount. This is 1,800. And I think you can solve the question, right? So this type of model, we call it four-part model. Okay, yeah. So how will you do the calculations for this? You are going to use 1,800 and then minus away the numbers first. So you see that you have 30 and you have 60. You should try to minus away those two numbers first. Yeah, right. So you should have gotten 1710 for that. So 1710 is for all the units. Then you go and count how many units there are. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? You have 9 units. Okay, so I will say 9 units equals to 1710. And then you can find 1 unit by dividing by 9. Alright, so yes, Zizazo, yeah, that's correct. So you will get 190 for that. Now, you shouldn't stop here because this is not what the question wants, right? The question wants what Silas has at first. So that means they want you to find Silas' entire model. So you can count how many units Silas has first. Silas has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 units. So you find 5 units, which is 950. And then remember to add the 30. Okay, the $30 is also part of what Silas has. So that's your last step. You plus 30, you get 980 as the answer. Your final answer, you have to put dollar sign. Yeah, so whoever said 980 is the answer, yeah, good job. This question is quite tough. Okay, so I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit and then leave this here for whoever needs to copy. Silas have 5 units. If you take a look at Silas' model, it has 5 units. He has 5 units plus an additional 30 behind. So you find 5 units, then you add the extra 30. Delish, this question is easy, is it? Oh, really? Mm, This is likely a 4 to 5 marks question in your exams though. Okay, so it's not meant to be very easy. Mm. Oh, okay, that's because you're P6. So if you're P6, you might find this P5 question um easy. Yeah, possibly. Okay, so anyways, we will just take a short break now and then 6 o'clock we will begin. Okay, for our P6 math. Yeah, so this is the last question for P5. Yep. User 745, bye for now. Okay, I will see you all back here at 6 o'clock. Let me put the sticker first. Okay, right. So up next at 6 o'clock will be P6. So whoever needs to take a break, okay, you can do so. I will see you all back at 6 o'clock. See you guys at 6 o'clock. I also need to take a break, use the restroom. Hello. Okay, wait. Let me just catch up on your comments for a while. Okay. TLX, why did you say that? I did not need to, I didn't need to use the toilet though, but not to do big business. Naughty are you? Okay, let me see. Learn Gail, you were asking for explanation for the last P5 problem sum, was it? Okay, because this is TikTok live, right? We are running on a very tight schedule. It's not like your normal AGrader lessons where, I mean, of course, you can stay back and ask your teacher to clarify. Yeah, so usually I don't have time to re-explain questions. All right, so just take note. So you do have to be very focused during the live. Usually I can only explain the question once. Right, so give me a moment while I switch the screen to P6 Math. So this is your P6 Math worksheet. So we are again doing term 2 revision, same as P5 just now. Great. Yeah, so yeah, hi Cinderlish, you're still here. Okay. User 745, you are still here as well. Long time no see. I thought it has only been 5 minutes. Simple. Please send in your answers. Find the value of 5 over 6 divided by 1/3. Okay, now it might be hard for some of you to see, okay, because it's a bit small, but this is a division sign, okay? I'll write it bigger for you to see. It's not a plus, it's a division. Well, how to do these questions before the live visit? We do upload our worksheets beforehand. You can go to our TikTok link in our bio. There's a link there. You click on the link and then you can find the link to the worksheet. Okay, so that's how you download the worksheets beforehand. All right, so send in your answers in the chat. Oh, okay, use the Kentucky Fried Chicken method. Yes, you are correct. Use your KCF method, right? For division of fractions, you use KCF, keep, change, flip. So you're going to keep the first fraction the same. Change means that you change divide to times, and then flip means you flip the second fraction. So from 1/3, if you flip it, it becomes 3 over 1. So I will write it down here, KCF method. So then after that, if you can cancel, you should cross cancel. For example, 6 and 3 can be cross cancelled into 2 and 1. After that, you are left with 5 over 2. And this is an improper fraction. You can change it to a mixed number. Mixed number will be 2.5. So this should be option 3 as the answer, which most of you got it right. Yeah. This question is very straightforward. Okay, so shall we move on to the next one? Right, so next question, I will read it first. Janet baked some cookies. She gave 60% of the cookies to Oliver. Oliver then ate 80% of the cookies that he received. So, which one of the following shows the percentage of the total cookies that Oliver ate? This one you actually don't need to calculate the exact percentage, right? You just need to choose the correct combination. Okay, so again, you do not need the exact percentage. Just pick the correct combination in the four options. So attempt it and then let me know what your answer should be. Peppa Pig, yeah. Correct, I would say you're on the right track. One else has answers? Hmm. Why you might want to just send in your answer once, if not you might get banned by TikTok. Cinderlish, just send your answer once as well. Hmm. Just now somebody got banned by TikTok, right? Yeah. So gotta be careful. Okay, most of you say one, huh? Why number one? Okay, let's take a look. So Oliver ate 80% of the cookies that he received. So what is the percentage of the cookies that he received? It is 60%, right? Because Janet gave 60% to Oliver. So 60% is the cookies that he received. So if he ate 80% of the 60%, you are trying to find out which combination is 80% times 60%. Okay, because the keyword of means multiply. So which option gives you this combination, 80% times 60%? Okay, by Singlish, no problem. So if you look at option 1, 3/5 is actually 60 over 100. So 3/5 is actually 60%. So this means that option 1 is actually 60% times 60%, which is not what we want. So if you look at option 2, 3/5 is 60%. So this one will become 60% times 80%. So isn't that the same combination as what we want? Yeah, so actually option 2 is the answer. So I can write down for option 3. Option 3 is 80% times 80%, which is not what we want. And then option 4 is 40% times 60%, which is also not correct. Actually, all you need to do is to change the fraction into percentage. Then you are able to find the correct combination. Real life of Kiki, yes, correct. After this is science, P6 science. It will be teacher Jody later on. Okay, so for question 2, any other questions before I move on? Or is it simple? Is it all right? Miss Sana, am I friends with teacher Jody? Yeah, of course. YCLX, teacher KH. No, teacher KH does P5 science. Today not P5 science. Today is P6 science. So you have to see our schedule. We will tell you which day is which subject and which level. All right, so number 3, we have a geometry question. You are given a rhombus over here. Which of the following is false? So please attempt it and then let's see. User 745, you can ask her that later, okay? I will not comment on that. Right, please take about 15 seconds, send in your answer. so I think, let's see. Most of you have the same answer, all right? So I'm going to look at the first option. First option is XW is parallel to YZ. This is true, right? Okay, so for this, for parallel lines, the direction does matter. So they're saying that it's XW, which is this direction. YZ is this direction. So you double check that the direction is correct. It is correct. So statement one is true. So that's not what we want. We're looking for the false statement. So then the second statement says that angle WZY plus XYZ, these two angles add up to 180 degrees. Again, this is true because for a rhombus, any two angles that are side by side will add up to 180. Okay, so these two angles are right side by side. So they will add up to 180. Second statement is true as well. The third statement, angle ZWX equals to XYZ. So they are saying that opposite angles are equal. Again, this is true. For a rhombus and also a parallelogram, opposite angles will be equal. True. Since option 1, 2, 3 are true, it must mean that option 4 is false, right? But of course, you can double check. Let's double check it. Okay, so option 4 says that WZY equals to XW, sorry, ZWX. Yeah. So from the diagram, you can see that the first angle is actually an acute angle, and then the other angle is actually an obtuse angle. So how can a acute angle be equals to an obtuse angle? That's why it's false, right? One is acute, one is obtuse. It cannot be equal. So 4 is the answer. 4 is false. Most of you got it right, which is great. Then we're going to move on to the next question here. Yeah, so we have an area of triangle question. Please try it out. You're supposed to find the area of triangle ABC. Let me know your answers in the chat. Of you say it's option 3. Okay. Anyone else has a different answer? Okay, so we have one person who say it's option 4. Anyone else has a different answer? Actually, it's quite surprising. I thought this question would be doable, but seems like quite a lot of you are getting it wrong, eh? Okay, let's go through this. Prepare to do corrections, okay? Those of you who have the worksheet. You want to find area of a triangle, you need the base and the height, please. So for this triangle, this is actually my base, 15 cm. I'm going to zoom in, okay? And then how do you get the height of this triangle? You actually need to extend. Let me change the color of the pen. You need to extend like this, right? So you extend your base upwards until you form a right angle, and then that is your height. Sorry, let me make it a bit more accurate. Can you guys see? So you extend your base using dotted line upwards until you form a right angle. Then you draw a horizontal straight line. This is your base. Sorry, this is your height. Yeah. Okay, so you notice that your height over here is actually the same as line BE, which is 8 cm. So that means that your height is 8 cm. Yeah, so once you have the base and you have the height, then you can um, calculate, right, using the formula half times base times height. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out again. So this will be half times 15 times 8. What would the answer be? Those of you who tell me answer is 3, are you sure half times 15 times 8 is 3? Yeah, isn't it 60? Okay, so 60 should be option 2. Yeah, so just now I didn't see that many of you say it's option 2. Most of you say it's option 3 or 4. Yeah. Okay, 2 should be the answer, 60. For this question, identifying the base and the height is the difficult part. I'm going to leave this here for 10 seconds for whoever needs to copy. Secret life of Kiki, you think it's a typo? Oh, okay. Really? You mean so many of you had a typo, is it? Not so many of you say it's option 3, but you have a typo, you meant option 2, is it? I mean, it's possible. Hey, this question I think should be all right, not too difficult. WL, you got it correct, is it? That's great. Question 5. What is the area of a circle with a diameter 20 cm? Take pi as 3.14. So, of course, first thing you need to do is to remember what's your formula, right? What is your formula for area of a circle? Formula for area of a circle? If you're a P6 student, you should have memorized it by now. Pi r square, is it? Okay, pi r square is fine. Or pi times r. That's also correct. Make sure you use the correct formula, pi times r times r. So you are given the diameter, which is 20 cm. You want to find the radius. The radius is exactly half of that. So half of 20 cm is 10 cm. And then just multiply. 3.14 is your value for pi. And then you times 10 times 10. So you should have gotten 314 for this, which is number 3. Yeah, so just make sure you use the correct formula, okay? Yeah, I think this question most of you got correct. On to the next one. Since this one, I think you guys have no question, right, for this? We finished our MCQ, so let's take a look at our first section B question. This is also fairly simple. You are given a mixed number and then just change it to a decimal. Let me know your answers in the chat. Let's take a look. Again, you can just send your answer once, okay? Sending too many times might cause you to be banned with TikTok. Okay, Fauzi cannot see the fraction. Oh, okay. Is it too small? The fraction the mixed number that they give you is 2, 3 over 4. Okay, so I'm gonna write it bigger for you guys to see. Small, was it? Try to download our worksheets beforehand, lah. Then you'll be able to see the question. It's three quarter, not one quarter. Yeah, seems like most of you got the answer already. For this one, you want to change a mixed number to a decimal. Try to make the denominator either 10, 100, or 1000. In this case, 4 cannot change to 10, but I can change it to 100, right? By multiplying by 20. So then you will get 2 whole 75 over 100. And the number of zeros will be the number of decimal place. So if you have two zeros, it means that it should be two decimal place. So that's how you get 2.75 as the answer. So make sure your final answer has two decimal place. 2.75. This question is quite well done. Mhm. Why? How come you put a question mark? I don't know what you mean by a question mark. All right, so if no question, let's move on to the next page. This question, this one is on volume. Okay, so you are given the volume of a cube. The volume of a cube is 343 cm cube. Find the length of one side of this. Let me know your answers in the chat. This one, it will be helpful if you know your times table well. Yeah, so without a calculator, if you have a calculator, this question will be very, very easy. But since this is a section B question, you don't have a calculator, so you have to rely on your times table knowledge. Okay. All right. Yeah. Xing Long, correct explanation. That's right. Yeah. So the fastest way to do this would be to cube root the 343, right? So if calculator was allowed, you can actually just key this into your calculator. It will tell you it's 7. Yeah. Otherwise, you can also write 7 times 7 times 7 gives you 343. It's also correct. Yeah, so either way, the length would be 7. Okay, 7 is the answer. Some of you might not have learned it in school yet. Yeah, okay, so calculator is not allowed for this question, but if you write this as your working, it is fine. It is still okay. Rolex man, you say calculator give you 55.5607. I think because you might have keyed in square root instead of cube root. Yeah. Okay. So if you key in square root, it will give you a different answer. You have to key in cube root. Okay, so square root is taught under which topic is it? Square root is related to area and perimeter. It could be related to volume as well. Yeah, so this topic is on volume. Yeah. Rolex man, what's the difference? Well, there's a big difference between square root and cube root. Square root is usually when you want to find out one side of a square. That means you are given the area of a square, you can square root it to find out one side of the square. And you use cube root when it comes to volume questions. Okay. Why do you need to learn differentiation as P6? No, of course not. All right. That is a secondary school question. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the next one. You guys can read the question first and then let me know your answer. We have another geometry question. Yeah. This one you can solve it in one step. Okay, so most of you are giving me the correct answer. Hmm. Okay, but some of you might have a typo. You should check what you sent in. I think some of you might have a typo. Okay, Capybara lover, I've noted your answer. No need to send too many times. Okay. Yeah. Let's go through this. So first thing, this is a trapezium. Trapezium only has one pair of parallel line. They did tell you that it is WX and ZY that are parallel. So I'm not sure whether your teachers did mention to you in school, for a trapezium, you can always imagine that you cut it into half along the parallel lines. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to imagine that I cut this trapezium into half like this. So why do I imagine that I cut into half? Because on the left side of the trapezium, these two angles have to add up to 180. And then on the right side of the trapezium, which is here, these two angles have to add up to 180 as well. Okay, so the angle that I'm trying to find is on the left side. All I need to do is to use 180 minus the other angle on the left side, which is 66 degrees. Yeah, so minus you are supposed to get 114 as the answer. So, Sing Long, I think since just now you have been having typo issues. Yeah, yeah, typo issue, right? So that's your answer for this question. Just one step. Right. So now it's around 6:30 already. We will have our 5 minutes break as usual before we continue. Yeah. Okay. So everybody, let's take a short break before we continue with. I think we have about 3 pages left. Yeah. So let me take a look at the chat. Does it mean when you have number 3 beside your name? I think that means you're the top few fans of this life or something like that. Yeah. Hi Foxy, good to see you. Pibara lover, you're first. That means that you keep on spamming the like or something like that, I think. Why is it LX? You haven't learned circle, is it? Oh, okay. Mm, maybe your school covered other topics first. Yeah. I think by now most schools should have done circles already. Mm. Anyway, each school is a bit different. Okay. So the speed at which you cover certain topics will also be a bit different. Black Sapphire, this is P6 math. User 745, you also spam likes. Then I'm not too sure. That maybe it's how many times you comment, how many times you like. I'm not too sure how TikTok, rates who's the top fan or not. Mm. Okay, YZLX, you know the basic. Okay. Knowing the basic is good, but when your school teaches the topic, then you will do more questions on the topic. Yeah, you'll cover problem sums as well. Oh, Foxy, you have volume already. Okay. Mm. Questions later are actually not difficult. Yeah, today's P6 worksheet is actually not as difficult as the P5 one because it's a lot of basic drilling questions. Yeah. Okay, Foxy, you're going to learn speed soon, is it? Right. If you're P6 this year, I think your batch will be the last batch that will be learning speed. If I'm not wrong, next year onwards they will remove speed as a topic. Mm, yeah. So you might be the last batch of students who still needs to learn speed. Yeah. Yeah, correct. Because MOE will change syllabus every year, right? So this year, P5 changed syllabus. That means P5 has a new textbook this year. And then next year, it will be P6 who change syllabus. So next year, P6s will have a new textbook, and then likely they will remove speed. 2027, there's no more PSLE? Really? Avis says you saw that as well? Mm, really? Really? Did MOE say that? Okay. Well, we'll find out whether it's true or not. 1 more minute before we continue. Okay, really? What's the proof? You want to send to me, but I don't know how you're gonna send to me. Yeah. I don't think you can send an image in the chat. Okay, Fauzi, what is the point of learning speed this year if speed is removed next year? Because if you are P6 this year, then speed will still be tested in your PSLE, so that's why you still need to learn it. But if you are P5 this year, then next year when you become P6, then you don't need to learn speed if it's removed from the text. Yeah, speed can be quite a difficult topic for many students. Maybe that's why they are planning to remove it. Okay, let's move on. This question is fairly simple as well. You're just asked to find the circumference of a circle that has a diameter of 35 meters and pi is 22/7. For answers in the chat, please. This one need to do manual calculation. YCLX, you will learn what pi is when you learn the topic in school, okay? Yeah, so maybe just 10 seconds, send in the answers, the rest of you. Okay, so you guys have the same answer. Yeah. Anyone else has a different answer? Okay, right, let's go through this. Yeah. So you do need to know your formula for circumference, okay, or perimeter. So what's the formula for that? Just now we use area formula, right? So now we do circumference formula. What's the formula for circumference of a circle? Pi d, okay, thank you, Foxy. Pi d is the correct formula. What is pi d? Pi d is pi times d, which is the diameter, okay? So pi is 22/7, and then you're going to multiply the diameter, which is 35, over 1. To calculate this, you should cross cancel. You can cross cancel 7 and 35. So you will end up with 1 and 5. After which, you just need to multiply your numbers on top, which is 22 times 5. So that's how you get 110 as the answer. Just now somebody mentioned cm, right? But actually it's meter, correct? But anyway, because this is section B, so you don't need to write the units. Okay, just write the value. Foxy, you can't use calculator for this because this is a section B question. Mm. We are still at section B. Right, so if no questions, we can look at the next one, which is also under the topic of circles. So you have a figure here that shows a square and a quarter circle. So the quarter circle is within the square. The length of the square is 20 cm. Find the area of the shaded part. Give your answer in terms of, when you do this type of question, you need the general idea how to get the shaded part. So what's the general idea to get the shaded part? You're supposed to take the entire square and then you minus the quarter circle, then you are able to get the shaded part. All right, so make sure you have the general idea first, and then you should write it down. So shaded part, your strategy is to take the square minus your quadrant. Quadrant just means quarter circle. Okay, so you know that you need to find these two things separately. You should find the square first. So what is the area of a square? How do you find the area of the square? Okay, so most of you are just sending me the final answer. All right, find the area of a square. You're going to use 20 times 20, length times length is the formula to get 400. That's a square. Okay, then after that, you're going to find the quadrant. What formula are you supposed to use? So because it is a quarter circle, you have to use 1/4, then you times um, the formula for area, which is pi times r times r. Make sure you use the correct formula. Okay, so anyway, the radius for this quarter circle is 20. So you would have to do this calculation. After you do this calculation, it will be 100 pi. Okay. Then after that, you're gonna use the square, which is 400, to minus the quarter circle, which is 100 pi. And then this is your answer. 400 minus 100 pi. Okay, I got no space to write. 400 minus 100 pi. Please put a bracket for this. So if you have learned algebra in school already, you would know that you need to put bracket in this situation. Okay, so this works the same way as algebra. The bracket. YZLX, you don't understand because you have not learned the topic on circle yet. It's okay, you will learn it next time. This question is quite well done. I saw many of you have the correct answer. Yeah. Okay, so one thing is that you cannot minus away the pi. That means you cannot combine it further because one of it is a number. 400 is a number, but 100 pi is not exactly a number, right? There is a symbol attached to it. So that's why you have to keep it separately. It works the same way as algebra. Okay, so that's the final answer. And then let's move on. Here we go. This question is on volume. You are shown a cuboid over here that is 0.4 meters long and 20 cm wide. It has a volume of 24,000 cm cubed. Find the height of this cuboid. So let's see your answers in the chat box. How do you find the height of the cuboid? You are given the volume, you are given the length, and you're also given the breadth. Okay, you guys can just send the answer once, okay? Don't worry. Don't need to send so many times. I saw your answers. Muhammad, I think you can try again. So I'm going to label here first. 0.4 meters is actually the length. But you do notice that the units are different. Meters and centimeter, right? So you should be following centimeters. Your 0.4 meters, you should change it to centimeters. So that will be 40 centimeters. Make sure that the units are the same before you do any calculation. All right. So how do you find the height? Find the height, you are going to use volume, divide by length, and also divide by the breadth. So your volume over here is 24,000 and your length is 40 and also divide by the breadth, which is 20. This one is the breadth. Yeah, so once you do this calculation, then you can get the answer. So I think it's not too difficult. Just make sure you are careful with your calculation. You can do it one by one. That means you can do 24,000 divided by 40 first to get 600. After that, then you divide by 20. Okay, so 600 divided by 20 is 30. So that's your final answer here. So this question is testing you on two things. The first thing is whether you remember to change the meter to centimeter so that your units are all the same. That's the first thing. Second thing is testing you on whether you know this formula to find height. Okay, so these are the two key things of this question. Sing long, you remember the formula. That's great. Okay, so we are done with our section B. We only have one problem sum today, okay, which is this one. So I don't think it'll take very long. I'm gonna read the question first. The well had a rectangular piece of paper, 27.2 cm by 18 cm. He cut out as many squares as possible from this piece of paper. Each square has a side of 4 cm. So at most, that means maximum, how many squares can he cut out? And then part B, what is the area of the paper left after he cut it in part A? So let me know your answers in the chat. For people who didn't do the worksheet beforehand, um, you might need some time to do it on the spot. Okay. Many of you have the same answer, but doesn't seem correct, huh? Yeah. Anyone else want to send in your answer before I go through? Okay, so maybe I'll just draw the diagram first. I think having the diagram will make it easier for you to visualize what is going on. So let's say this is the rectangular piece of paper that Noel had, right? So this is 27.2 cm. This is 18 cm, right? So you have the length, you have the breadth. He's trying to cut out as many squares as possible. So let's say he cut out a square like that, 4 cm, and then he cuts out another square beside it, another 4 cm. He cuts out another square, which is another 4 cm. So he continues cutting. So how many squares can he cut along the length? Let me know in the chat. How many squares can he cut along the length? Oh, you still say 30. 30 is not the answer. The length is 27.2 cm, right? And then each square is 4 cm. So you are supposed to use 27.2 divided by 4. Yes, Pei Feng, you're correct. So if you use 27.2 divided by 4, you should have gotten 6 remainder 3.2 cm. Yeah, so that means that maximum along the length, you can only cut out 6 squares. Then you will need to do the same thing for the breadth, right? Along the breadth, how many can you cut out? Right, so along the breadth, you have 4 here, another 4, like that. Mm. Yeah, okay. So I think it was Catherine, right? Said Pei Feng also says 4, correct? So you do the same thing, you will use 18 divided by 4. You should get 4 remainder 2 cm in this case. So that means the maximum you can only cut out 4 along the breadth. So how do you get the final answer? 6 times 4. You get 24. 24 is the correct answer for part A. Now, those of you who got 30 as your answer, okay, so you likely committed the common mistake. So let's talk about the common mistake. Common mistake is you will take 27.2 times 18, right? Who did this? So that means that you're trying to find the entire piece of paper, right? Some of you did this. You get 489.6. Right, then after that, you find the area of one square, which is 4 times 4, that's 16. Then you try to divide these two numbers. 489.6 divided by 16. Okay, so that's how you got approximately 30 as the answer. Right? So those of you who got 30 as the answer, likely you did this, which means you committed the common mistake. Okay? Do not use the area of the whole piece of paper, divide by the area of each square. That is not correct. Say go to jail. No lah, not so serious. Just learn from a mistake, okay? So that's your answer for part A. You can fit 24 squares. He can cut out 24 squares. Okay, then what is the area of the paper left? Paper left means you can look at the remainder. Right, so in part A, along the length, you have a remainder of 3.2 cm. And then along the breadth, you have a remainder of 2 cm. So then you just need to multiply these two. Yes, Catherine, you're correct. Paper left refers to the remainder. You have 3.2 cm left along the length, then you times the 2 cm left along the breadth, so you should get 6.4 cm square for part B. Yeah, okay, so take note of the units, it is cm square because we're talking about area. Yeah. For this question, please take note, it is a very commonly tested question. Because your school, okay, your school teachers know that likely you will commit this common mistake. That's why they like to test you this question. Anyway, because you attend this live, you should not make this common mistake anymore. Okay, moving forward. Right. So this is our last question, right? We're done with our primary math live. Okay. Thank you guys for joining and paying attention. And then next up will be science. Okay, so let me show you guys the sticker. There you go. Okay, so next up will be 7 p.m. P6 science. So again, I will not see you all 2 weeks from now. I will see you all 1 month later. Okay, right. Bye. I'll see you all. Yeah. So those of you who are interested in science, please stay. Okay. Don't leave the live. Teacher Jody will join shortly. Right. You guys are welcome. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye. See you.
Can you hear me? Can? Hi. Yes, okay, good. Hello. Hey, hello. Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, we will start, okay? Yes, Kahoot is later, not now. Kahoot is later. Give me a moment, lah. Let me adjust. You saw me before in real life? What do you mean? At where? Where did you see me? Kahoot later, okay? Okay, so we're gonna start with today we'll be doing P6 science for this session, okay? And we'll be doing like revision already. So revision means that we'll actually go through like mixed levels and mixed topics as well. So yes, I remember the CTTP. Yes, Kahoot, there's Kahoot today. Okay, everybody, let's start off with the first question. Okay. Okay, I show the top part of the question first, okay? Because later you get blocked by the top border. All right, so let always remember in science. No, I don't work at Sing. No, I don't. I don't teach in primary school. Okay, okay, we start from question one, okay? Maybe it's someone that looks like me. Okay, so for this, all right, always in science, remember to highlight important stuff. Okay, highlight the important key things. So firstly, it says here that the diagram below, yeah, I do wear specs occasionally. Okay, so we move on first, okay? So they show the exchange of gases amongst the organisms and their surroundings during the day. Okay, so now here is you have to look out for the direction on of the change in gases, okay? So hold on. So for here, they are asking based on the diagram, it is a bit blur. It's a bit blur. Is it blur? It should be blur. The resolution is okay, you know. You mean the diagram? The diagram will be blur because it's yeah, the diagram might be a bit blur. But the words, is it the words are the words blur? Okay, okay. So over here, all right, based on the diagram, which of the living things do organisms P, Q, and R represent? So let's focus on living things here. All right, so always look at the direction on how oxygen and carbon dioxide moves. Okay, so for this, if you look at this carefully, right? Okay, what do you notice about this living thing here? This living thing, we know this arrow means what? This arrow means it's taken in. Oxygen is taken in, and you can see from this arrow, oxygen is given out. We do organism Q first, okay? So if it's taken in, oxygen taken in, carbon dioxide is given out. What process do you think this is about? What process takes in oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide? Do anyone of you know? Does anyone of you know? Very good. Signal. Yes. Okay, so it is respiration. Very good. So number one, this is actually respiration. Okay, this shows me respiration. So we know that organism Q goes through respiration. They respire. Okay, but what about the other one? If you look at and there's another path for organism Q. Okay, so organism Q actually you can see takes in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen. So what process actually takes in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen? Last Monday I go Sun Plaza. Monday. No, I did pick someone up from Sun Plaza. I didn't really stay there for very long. Why? Where did you saw me? Ah, is it in the evening or like afternoon or morning? This one. This is considered a P5 question. Oh yes, yes, I did pick someone up. at Sun Plaza in the evening. Okay, but anyway, everyone, let's move on to this first. Okay, let's focus on this. Okay, what process takes in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen? Does anyone of you know? So this is a P6 revision, which means that like we revise mixed levels and topics because it's revision. Does anyone know? Hey, carbon dioxide. What process does an organism undergo to take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen? Very good. Very good. Ima. Did I call you Ima? I'm not sure whether I call you correctly. Yes, it is photosynthesis. Okay, these two. Okay, the directional arrows. You see carbon dioxide taken in, oxygen given out. That is the process of photosynthesis. So the moment you see that this organism Q can undergo photosynthesis, what organism do you think it is? It is definitely a what? Definitely a what? Very good, Singlong. It's definitely a plant. That's very good. And which of the following here are plant? Okay, we have grass. Grass is a plant, but is fern a plant? Thank you, user. Thank you. Uh, is it Hanjay? I don't know how to pronounce any. Okay, let me ask you, is fern a plant? Okay, I see some of you say yes. Very good. Is bacteria a plant? What about bacteria? Yeah. Okay, bacteria is not a plant. Very good. So we are option two is already out. We are left with option one, three, four. Okay. So now let's look at organism P and organism R. What do you notice about these two? What process do they undergo? Based on the arrows. See, take in oxygen, give out carbon dioxide. So what process does P and R undergo? There is Foxy. There is, but it's later. Process do you think it undergo? Very good, Singlong. Respiration. So both of these organisms only only undergoes respiration. Okay, it doesn't photosynthesize. All right, because there's only one arrow going to the organism and leaving the organism. So it's only one process. Okay? Okay? So okay, so if it goes through respiration, means it's definitely a living thing, and it's but because it doesn't go through photosynthesis, right? No photosynthesis means that it's definitely not a plant. Okay? So for this, any living thing that is not a plant would be accepted. Okay, so fern is a plant, so cannot. All right. So I will cross out all the fern because fern cannot be P or R. So with this, very good. Yes, correct. The rest is okay. My answer is supposed to be number three. Very good. So based on this, yes, three will be the correct answer. Good. Hey, good. Good job. Okay. Good job. All right, so let's move on. Yes, user 6382. Okay, good. So let's move on to the next question. All right, so for the next question over here, okay, it says that the diagram below represents the human. Okay, I scroll down a little bit because the top border is going to block the question. Okay, human circulatory system. So let's highlight the key thing. We are talking about the human circulatory system. The arrows represents blood vessels carrying blood from the head, lungs, heart to and from these various parts. Okay, and the question is which, very good, you got it correct. Which one of the following correctly shows the amount of carbon dioxide in the blood carried by the various blood vessels? Okay, when it comes to this type of question, right, a lot of students always make careless mistake. Okay, some of you say four, some of you say one. The correct answer is four. Okay, but let me tell you why is it for, okay? So basically what happens here is you must know that, okay, always make it a good habit to label your vessels. Okay, so what do I mean by label? So I always have to label vessels to prevent careless mistakes. So for this, right, let's look at A. Blood vessel A is, you notice that it's sending what? Sending blood from the head to the heart, right? So always don't label your vessels using heart because there will be a lot of vessels with the same name if you say to the heart. Okay, so what happens here is I will always say that this blood vessel is from other parts of the body. Okay, it's from other parts. Okay, can? Hold on, because I'm writing capybara lover. I need to write. Then I need to show you the top part first. Okay? If not, later the top border is going to block the questions. All right, so then for B, okay, B is actually sending blood to the lungs. Okay, C is sending blood from the lungs. Okay, and D is sending blood to other parts of the body. Okay, legs or head, we consider it as other parts of the body. Okay, so with this, after you label, then you just think logically. Okay, do I want to send a lot of carbon dioxide to the different parts of the body? I wouldn't want, right? So the one that is sending to other parts of the body should be low in carbon dioxide. So you must understand that this one will be low, poor in carbon dioxide. Okay? All right, then what about the other one? So next one, okay, what about from the lungs? Coming out from the lungs, what do you all think? High or low carbon dioxide? Rich or poor carbon dioxide for C? What do you all think? Blood that's coming out from the lungs. The lungs replenish oxygen, right? The lungs is going to get rid of all the carbon dioxide, most of it, okay, and get oxygen. So coming out from the lungs, carbon dioxide. I'm focusing on carbon dioxide here, okay? Carbon dioxide should be rich or poor, high or low. Let's talk about carbon dioxide. I know it's high oxygen. Capybara lover, you got the idea there. But we're focusing on carbon dioxide here. So rich or poor in carbon dioxide? Very good, low or poor in carbon dioxide. Okay, because you don't want to send carbon dioxide to the other parts of your body, right? Okay, but you will want to send carbon dioxide to your lungs. So B must be rich in carbon dioxide. I want the lungs to get as much carbon dioxide so that they can get rid of the carbon dioxide for me. Okay, and since other parts, do you know what process does other parts goes through? Goes through what? Cindy? Who is Cindy? Hello. No. Process does other parts of our body cells go through that will actually use up oxygen because your body cells, your head, your legs, even your heart also use up oxygen, right? So what process like do they go through? Hello. Does anyone know what process they go through? I don't know. Sure is it? The process that they go through your body parts or your body cells goes through a process called, hey, Bohemian, correct. Respiration, Peppa Pigu, yes, respiration. Goes through respiration. So when they respire, okay, a lot of carbon dioxide is given out. All right, so over here, A would have high amount of carbon dioxide, or we can say rich in carbon dioxide. Let me change this to rich, okay? Okay, so for this question, you should know your answer already. All right, poor in carbon dioxide should be C and D. Okay, not A and B. And we already got one answer only. Answer is number 4. Okay, rich in carbon dioxide would be A and B. Okay, so number 4 is the correct answer. So those of you who sent in number 4 just now, you got it correct. Okay, very good. Okay, yes, very good. It's respiration. Very good. Thank you for all your answers, Sing Long, YZLX. And Jay, okay? Oh, today is an alpha test. How do you do? Hope that you did well. Okay, everybody, I'm going to move on, okay? So let me move on to question 3. Question 3, very straightforward question. Okay? Study the 3 different cells shown below. Which one of the following about cell A, B, C is actually true? Okay, wow, full marks? How you get full marks for 1.6? Kenapa? You mean the points? Okay, but can anyone tell me, cell A, is it a plant or an animal cell? What do y'all think? Plant or or animal cell? Well, that's fast, capybara lover. Not bad. What cell do you think is A? Plant or animal cell? What do you think? Is it plant cell or is it animal cell? Cell A. Don't know? Plant or animal cell? Very good. Don't have a cell wall means it is a very good animal cell. Yes. Then what about B then? What about B? 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 Very good. Thank you for all your answers. Plant cell is for B. Why? Is because there is a cell wall. Very good. And what about C? Very good, very good. Chan Wai. C is also a plant cell. Very good. Okay, because it has a cell wall. Okay, so with this, right, is option one correct? Okay, what do you think the answer is? Which statement is true? Read the options carefully. Which send in your answers to me. Which one do you think is true? One, two, three, or four? Yeah, most of you would two, 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 two. Okay, most of you got it correct. Very good. The correct answer is number two. Okay, but let me explain why. I see some of you sending in different answers. Okay, so option one is definitely wrong because we know that B and C are plant cell, not animal cell. So this is definitely a plant cell. So one is really wrong. Okay, one is false. Okay, option two says that only B can make its own food. Okay, how do you all know that B can make its own food? How? How do you all know? Because there, that can anyone tell me? How do you know that bee can make its own food? Very good, Peppa Pig. It's Peppa Pig. I feel so strange calling you Peppa Pig. Okay, yes, because it has chloroplast. These are your chloroplasts, okay? Alright, so these are your chloroplasts. So bee can make its own food. Chloroplast contains chlorophyll, which can trap light to make food for the plant, okay, or for the cell. Alright, so this is true. Okay, so number three is wrong because A wouldn't have a fixed shape. Okay, anything that does not have a cell wall does not have a fixed shape. Okay, so number three is wrong. And number four says that B can only be found in the roots. It cannot be found in the roots. It has chloroplast. Roots does not need chloroplast at all. Okay, because it doesn't help the plant to make food. All right, so good. So this one is also false. So the answer is number two. Yes, okay, good. Yes, very good. Ima, what capybara lover, you can remember all the NAFA test results. Everyone okay? Okay, I'm gonna move on, okay? Okay, let's move on. You're very jumpy. Then you shouldn't call yourself capybara. Capybara cannot jump very fast. Okay, let's move on to four. Okay, four quite easy, right? This is your P4 topic, recap on your P4 topic. The diagram below shows a human arm. Okay, and they mentioned that which two systems are needed to work together to straighten the arm. So straighten means it requires some sort of movement, right? So can you tell me which system helps you with the movement? Very good. Okay, Bjorn, very good. Chanwai, Peppa Pig, Jaren, Jaren, good. Okay, good. Fauzi, right? Yes, good. Okay, most of you got it correct. Very good. Okay, anything to do with movement is tentatively these two main systems, which is your muscular system and your skeletal system. Okay, very good. If you swap the other way around, you mentioned skeletal system, then muscular system is fine as well. All right. So good. Yay, so happy you. Okay, I'm gonna move on, all right? So let's look at B now. B. Okay, B, we are supposed to state two substances that the circulatory system delivers to the arm to get energy to move. Do you all know? Shine still there? I, Shine, Shine, are you still there? I saw you just now. Substance, any substance. What do you think? Okay. Any substance can be uh, water can be a substance. Honey also can be a substance. Substances can be a lot of things. So, what substances do you think gives you energy? Your body use up blood for energy. Use the body will use up these substances. Substances can be any like even gas also. Solid, liquid, gas can be a substance, but tentatively usually it's liquid or gas. Very good. Hey, are you sure got blood or not? Your body uses up blood. Then later, then all your blood get used up. Then how? Shine. Vampire. Oh no. That is a bit scary. Okay, so yes, a lot of you got it correct. Digestive food and oxygen. Ryan, good. Fauzi, Jaden, good. Ima, good. And those of you who mentioned earlier, oxygen, digestive food, WL, quite a number of you. Okay, good. All of you got it correct. So to release energy, what process does your body undergo to release energy? Let me test you all again. You, what process does your body undergo to get energy from your food, from your digested food? Respiration, very good, Vion. Okay, so we have this energy is obtained through process called respiration. Okay, okay, very good. A lot, Cheyenne, very good. Fauzi, very good. Okay, okay. Hi, welcome back, Ryan. All right, so let's write down the answer. So the correct answer, the two substances would be oxygen and digested food. Okay, good. Jaden, very good. Okay, good. Wow, Ima, so fast. So everybody, you all can send in your answers to me if you know this. Name all the parts that make up our circulatory system. There are three. And one, very good. There are three. Heart, blood vessels, and blood. Yes, most of you got it correct. Shine, user, Beyond, Yambu, Peppa Pig, another user. Very good. All of you got it correct. So the correct answer would be heart, blood, and blood vessels. Yay, good, good job. Okay, good, good. Okay, so good. Let's move on. All right. So this one is quite straightforward. So let's look at. This is your P6 topic about living together. Okay, so let's look at this one. Okay, now let's look at five. Okay, question five, it says that animal S releases a sweet substance. All right. Let me highlight the key thing first. Sweet substance which will attract animal R. Okay. Animal R feeds on, always remember to highlight the key points. Okay. This sweet substance and animal R, okay, fights off attacks from other insects that feed on animal S. Okay. So, you know a few things here. Animal S, which is this cricket looking thing here, this insect, release a substance. Okay, this substance is eaten up by animal R. Animal R will attack other insects that tries to eat up animal S. Okay, so how? Yes, Peppa Pig, very good. What? Capybara, that's good. So everybody, so how do R and S benefit from this relationship? Okay, so when we say that they benefit from each other, we usually call it as interdependent. Okay, they help each other, they depend on each other, interdependence. Okay, this one should be part of your food chain web, okay, or living together topic. Okay, so some of you already say animal R gets food from S, okay, and animal S is protected by R. S provides food for animal R. Okay, very good. That's for the first benefit for R. S provide food. R gets to eat. Gets to eat what? Must talk about like how it helps. How is S related to R? So maybe add in animal S in the answer. Okay, like R gets to eat the food, the sweet substance produced by animal S. Okay, must have a relation, must show a relationship. So both of them must be mentioned in the answer. Okay, S get protected by who? S get protected by, yes, by R. Yes. So y'all must mention both the animal. Don't get tricked during exam. Some school teachers are very strict. You must mention both the animals, okay, and how they help each other in one, like one of the each of the sentence or each of the line. Okay. So for this, very good. Most of you got the idea there. So let me write down. Okay. So R. Okay, you have to say the animal R feeds on the sweet substance produced by S. Or you can also say the animal R gets its food, which is produced by S, or gets its food from S. Also can. All right. So basically, you need to mention feeds on something that's produced by S. Okay. So must mention both R and S in your benefits. Okay. So next one. Most of you mentioned this. Very good. Okay. A lot of you mentioned the correct answer as well for the next benefit. Okay, which is animal S would get protection from animal R, okay, against the insects. You also said one. Show your color on online nicer, right? You all want to see black and white online. Okay, I'm gonna highlight the key thing again. So you must say that as gets protection from R. Okay, so you will notice that you have to mention both the animals in the benefit. Okay, so you can, so to show your teacher that you know that they help each other. Okay, okay, okay. Everyone okay? I'm gonna move on. All right. So good. Thank you for all your answers. Okay, so let's look at B. Okay, so for B, okay, it says here, any questions so far or no questions? No, no questions so far? Okay, so let's move on, okay? So over here, all right, let's talk about B. B says that the graph below shows the population of animal R and how it changes over a period of time. So using the legend, what is the legend? This is a legend. Okay, using the legend provided in the box, draw on the same graph to show how the population of animal S changes over time. Okay, so since they depend on one another, what do y'all think? How should I draw the exact same pattern? Or it will be a different it will be a different graph. What do y'all think? Should you draw the exact same graph? Or you'll be entirely the shape will be entirely different. You sure? And you sure entirely different? They depend on one another. So if one of them increase, the other one will benefit more, right? So the other one also increase. But if the other one decrease, what about how will it affect the other one as well? It will affect the other one, right? The other one will also decrease. Very good. So some of you got the idea there. So I am supposed to draw another graph which looks the same, just that this happens later. Okay, let me try to draw. Okay, it should look like that. Okay, I say later because it takes time, right? For Okay, it takes time for things to happen. So if there, for example, if there is more animal R means that they will get protected more, right? Animal S will get protected more, right? So when animal S get protected more, they will have a higher chance of survival. So when they have a higher chance of survival, they will reproduce more, right? So then S will also increase. But the protection and the reproduction takes some time. That's why there should be a gap here. It shouldn't be joined together. Okay? Understand? Hi, Belinda. Okay? As earlier, earlier should be fine. But usually the main one is the earlier one. The one that it gives you is usually okay. That means something happens to R, then S is being affected. Okay, okay? Alright. Okay, so let's move on. Right, hello Melinda. Okay, so let's move on to see why are you asking about how many questions? This is the last page already. Not the same thing. What do you mean by the same thing, Fauzi? You mean like exactly at the same spot? That means you just drawing over the dotted lines? Is that what you mean, Fauzi? Cannot draw over because as I mentioned earlier, it takes time for them to reproduce and all that. Okay, can so it takes time. The S will only increase. Animal S will only increasing later on. Okay, so you should draw the graph like slightly towards the right later part for S. Okay, can okay, okay, good. What you're talking about? What don't understand what? Okay, but let's move on. Okay, yeah, yes, but later there'll be Kahoot. Okay, so let's look at this one. What about C? Do you know about anything how to do question C? Based only on the information provided, okay, explain how the population of animal S, okay, population of animal S, just now I mentioned a bit, right, would be affected if disease struck and killed most of animal R. What do you think will happen? Freedom we teach already. Living together, food chain, food web, we already teach. But do you know any idea what happened? Why animal S increase, Ima? You see, how does R helps S? R will fight off other insects that try to eat up S, right? R do not eat S, okay? R only feed on the substance produced by S. So when R is eating the substance, S is still alive. So, but it then now what happened? Now a disease killed a lot of animal R. So what do you think will happen to the population of S? It's okay. Don't need to apologize. So do you think will happen to the population of S, everybody? R is protecting S, right? So if there are lesser R, what do you think will happen to S? Yes, beyond. Yes, S would decrease. Very good. A lot of you got the idea there already. Good. Okay, so there'll be lesser and lesser S, right? So based only on the information provided, and these are the information provided, okay, we have to say, explain how animal S will be affected. When they say explain means it is a two steps answering technique if it is not an experiment. Okay, I'm very sure those of you who are in AGrader, you should know. AGrader, if it's not an experiment, two steps answering technique. Okay, firstly, you need to describe about how does R helps S. Okay, the benefits. Okay, and your science concept, which is if what will happen is if R die, something cannot happen, right? There will be no protection. Then what happened to the survival rate of S? Okay, okay, so good. But you must answer the first part first. Okay, so you must say that explain how population S will be affected. It will be okay. There will be lesser. There are less, or we say fewer, okay? There are fewer animal are protecting animal S. So what will happen if there are fewer animal are protecting animal S? Okay, okay, good. So I see some of you. So what happened? I read some of your answers. Okay, good. So there will be so there will be a lower chance of survival for animal as they might be easily captured by predators. Okay, causing a decrease in population of animal S. Okay, can is EWISA. Why you call yourself Lao Sai as at the back of your name? Huh? What are you talking about? Okay, I'm gonna highlight the key thing, okay? So always remember, mention that there are fewer animal are protecting animal S. Okay, so lower chance of survival. Okay, is as they are easily they is easily captured or eaten up by predators. Okay, so there will be a decrease in population. Okay, do I understand? Got any questions so far? Very good, Shine. We try to mention like lower chance of survival, higher chance of survival. It will be better for like food chain, food web, or population related questions. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay, everybody, last question 6. Okay, let's look at this one over here. Read your one. Lesser animal as the predator. Uh, okay, but you must add in lowering their chances of survival. Okay, then but you must mention what happens to its uh population also because they say, see, they mention here how would the population be affected. So you must mention that there'll be a decrease. Okay, then you can get your full marks. Okay, so let's look at 6. 6. Hello, why you don't change your name to my name, please? Okay, everyone, let's look at 6. Okay, this person set up the circuit as shown. Okay, what happened is in a type of like experiment, always identify a change variable. Okay, so over here they mentioned she used different materials in the circuit and observe whether the bulb lit up and recorded her results in the table below. So this is like an experiment already. It's like a mini experiment. So can y'all tell me what is my changed variable here? You all know what's a change variable here? Change variable? Beyond, very good. Good. Thank you, Ima. Yes, this is my change variable, different material. Okay, in science, in an experiment, The moment you see something that is different, that will be my changed variable. That means something that you change in your experiment. So what is my measured variable then? So, WL will try not to mention like the material because we wouldn't know exactly what is the material. Okay, so we usually use like to answer this type of question, we usually mention like conductors or insulators. Okay, okay, so now, yes, very good, Vion. The measured variable is actually whether the bulb lights up or not. So this is my measured variable. So the question here is what can be concluded? That means what is shown in this table here. Okay, very good. Kids play back, very good. Okay, so what is shown? Okay, so the moment you see that the bulb light up, what kind of circuit do your what this is your P5 topic? What kind of circuit is it? Open or close? Very good. Closed circuit, right? All this shows you that it's a closed circuit. If it's a closed circuit, means electric current can flow through. If electric current can flow through, it basically means that the materials are conductors or insulators. Very good, user. Okay, Ryan, it must be specific. Which materials are conductors? Good. Closed means they are conductors, okay? So we have to be specific. We have to say that material S, T, and V. I read some of your answers. Very good, okay? Are electrical conductors. Very good. You must tell me about the other one. Ryan, is it? Oh, the other one. For STV, very good, Fauzi. So what about you? Oh, Yanbun must be specific. You cannot say like all is this. Then what about the other one? So must be specific. These few materials, these what material are conductors? Then what material are insulators? Okay, okay. So that's not me. Okay, so over here, all right, but very good. Some of you send in material U is an electrical insulator. Okay, okay? Everyone all right? So this one mentioned electrical conductors. These must be specific. Identify the materials. And then U is electrical insulator. Okay? I'm going to move on. Last one. Does anyone has any other questions? Very good, user. Okay, good. So let's look at this diagram, okay? I have to show you this diagram first, if not you can, then you can answer the question below. Okay, so let me go down a bit. Okay, so over here, what happened is the numbers 1 to 4 represents the locations where material S, T, U, and V can be placed in the circuit. They said that all the materials must be used. Each material can only be used once. And I want the most number of bulbs to light up. So if I want the most number of bulbs to light up, means that, okay, one way is to find out where you want your closed circuit to be. in order for all your bulbs to light up. Okay, so if I look at the diagram, let me go out to the diagram, okay? Okay, let me go out to the diagram. Hello, please don't try to imposter to be don't try not to be my imposter. You all played the game before, right? Among Us. You are the imposter. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so over here, what happened is you need to find out which pathway, which closed circuit will allow the most bulb to light up. So I'm going to use a highlighter. Okay, so in order for most bulb to light up, it needs to be in this pathway. This pathway will allow 3 bulbs to light up. All right. Okay, so that would be the most bulbs. So which also means that the conductors must be placed at 4, 3, and 1. Okay, C means conductors, which also means that the insulator can be placed at 2. So everybody, your answer for 2 must be which material? S, T, U, or V? Very good, Vion. A user 4745. Very good. It's a good thing that you know that it's not me. That's an imposter. Okay. Very good. A lot of you. Very good. 2 should be an insulator. Okay, so it will be material U. Okay, what about the rest? The rest you can put anything already as long as it is a conductor. So, okay, position 1 can be S, can be T, can be U. Position 3 can be S, can be T, can be U. Position 4 can be S, can be T, can be U. Just make sure that you use each alphabet once. Okay, each material once. So just take note that option 1, position 3, and position 4 must be a conductor. Must be conductors, okay? Sorry, I write this one wrongly. This one is supposed to be V. Yes, the U is the insulator. Yes. Everyone okay? Understand? So we're gonna do the Kahoot already. It's my favorite number. I don't want to tell you later. Later you try to to be my imposter again. Okay, everybody. Okay, so you can sing. Hey, don't be an imposter. Okay, so let me off the mirroring first and set up the Kahoot. Give me a moment. Her name is Cindy. Okay. Hi, Cindy. Yeah, let me share my screen. The Kahoot thing. You all can use a device to join. Use a device to join. I'll key in the code in the chat as well, so you can join if you want. Okay, so this is the code. Hi. Ayo, who is Skibidi Sigma? Why do you call yourself Sigma? Funny, y'all. For a while, okay? A while more, then I'll. Oh, maybe like that will be better. Oh, cannot. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna press play. I have no idea, WL. Pin, who is secret pin? So cute, yeah. Okay, so okay, everybody, I am going to start the Kahoot. Okay, so I'm gonna press start. Okay, okay, I'm starting. Oh, hi, I see you. Okay, I'm starting. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Remember to take a screenshot later. Okay, those of you who get first, second, and third, take a screenshot. Okay, don't exit later. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, what is the first organism in the food chain called? Always remember your food chain starts with a producer. Those of you who are in A grader, you all learn it. Okay, gentle reminder everybody. I just show you this. Take a photo or what, so you know what to do during the car food. This one. Okay? You take a look here. Take a look at this important thing. Okay, take a screenshot. You take a photo of these instructions so you know like which number to send it to. Okay, so for Kahoot, right? If you are the top three winners, which means that you're the first, second, or third place, please take a screenshot because at the end of the Kahoot, you all know, right? The placing will come out. Take a screenshot to prove that you are first, second, third place. Then you can either DM through our TikTok account or send it to the number there to claim a gift. Okay? Okay, so I'm gonna you take a photo of this ready? Okay, just then I'm gonna hide this. Yanbun, I'm not sure about that. You yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hide. You can ask the number, okay? Okay, so let's go to the next question. Okay, just a gentle reminder in case some of you don't know. Okay, the gift. I'm not sure it's random. It can be blind boxes or Smiggle stuff or stationery. Yeah, it's random. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna press next. Suddenly no sound. I don't know why suddenly no sound. Because the question not up yet, right? Got wallet twice. Remember gravitational forces. Hey, very good. Remember, only mass affects gravitational force. Speed affects kinetic energy. Okay, so must be very, very, very careful. Okay, so mass of the object affects gravitational force, and height. Really, height doesn't affect gravitational force. Okay, okay, move on. Beyond Edric and Skibidi Sigma. Okay, maybe must press faster. A group of organisms living together in the same place is called a group of organisms. This is the topic on living together, food chain and food web. Oh no. Yeah. One group of organisms, like one group of frogs living together, forms a population. Okay, population is a group of and organisms of the same kind living together. One group only, so it's called a population. Many different groups, then it's that living in the same location, that is called community. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna move on. They already say one group, capybara lover, one group of organism. If it's different, it cannot be one group and it's different. Okay, can all right. So Jaren, Skibidi, and I am Steve. You watched the Minecraft movie, right? It's definitely a population capybara. Cannot be a community. A community is more than one group. Okay. When a person moves, we say that the person has kinetic energy and gravitational force is acting on the person. Very good. So every time, remember, gravitational force acts on everything all the time as long as it is on Earth. Okay? And then kinetic energy, anything that moves has kinetic energy. Okay, okay? So let me move on. Okay, very good. Okay, Fauzi, Jared, and Legends. Well, Legends. This one can have double points. Yeah, they can catch up. Dispersal, okay? Dispersal. Dispersal. Dispersed by animals. Okay. Dispersed by animals, not. Okay, remember, those fruits or seeds that have hooks or stiff hair, hooks will hook onto the animal fur, and then when the animal moves, it will drop off and it gets dispersed further away. Okay, if it's wing, W-I-N-G, wing-like structure, it is dispersed by wind. Okay, it's dispersed by wind, it's wind dispersal. Fibrous husk is water, this is dispersed by water. Okay, okay? All right. Fleshy, fleshy fruits with big seeds, okay, they will be consumed by the animal. Then the big seed will be thrown away. So that's why it's actually dispersed by animals. Okay? Light and small is for wind dispersal, not animal dispersal. Yeah, a lot of you forgot your P5 topic, is it? And then pod-like structure with lines of weakness is dispersed by splitting. Okay? Yan Boon, are you sure? I think you better message the number and to like prove that, yeah, you double check double check the person using the number. Okay, okay. What's my name? I'm very scared to give out my name now. Later got imposter again. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna go next. Okay. Okay. So, Ethan Chia. Okay. Skibidi and I'm Steve. Okay, good. Try again. Try again. You say that you didn't receive because I'm not the one. Yeah, and the gifts are not with me. Some level, you trying to scam people. Ah? You are so cheeky. This one is easy, okay? Gravitational force is a force that pulls all objects towards the center of the earth. Alright? Skibidi, I am Steve, and legends, okay? Ah, fill in the blanks. Hey, you're all scammer, y'all. To scam other people. You, of you. Okay, no one choose blue. They know your pattern already. Okay, everybody, elastic spring force is exerted is a green color one, okay, by a spring. As long as the spring is stretched, okay, or compressed, it can exert elastic spring force on the object that's stretching or compressing it. Okay, okay? Alright, so good. Oh, Ethan Chia, Legends. Who is that? Why got my name there? Yo, so cheeky. Okay, I'm gonna move on, okay? Last question. Which of the following contains kinetic energy? Blue, yes. A car that is driving about 3 miles per hour. Okay, which is basically moving. The moment you see driving means it's moving. Okay, moving, anything that moves has kinetic energy. Okay, so I'm gonna press next. Those of you who are top three, please take a photo, take a screenshot. Okay. I thought I got my name. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the first place goes to Ethan Chia. Second is Legends, and third is yeah, I don't know why I got my name. Okay, but okay, so take a screenshot for those of you who are top three. All right, so let me throw this again. Okay, a gentle reminder. No, it's not me. It's not me who played that. Okay, so take a screenshot of this. Okay, so that you know who actually to send the screenshot to. Okay, these are the instructions. Take a photo of this. Okay, congratulations, the top three. The rest of you can try again. Okay, you try again for other subjects or whatsoever. Okay, and gentle reminder, there will be live also. Okay, tomorrow. All right. So it is your English. Okay, and Sec 1 and 2 math. Okay. So tomorrow there's also the TikTok live, all right, for P5 English and secondary school math. They could put 5 to 6, 6 to 7, then 7 to 8. Okay? Okay. Then if you have nothing, then I'll see you all 2 weeks later. Okay? Bye bye. Bye. Bye bye. Bye. Adios. Oh no, I don't know how to pronounce that already, Ethan. Okay, bye. Okay, let me end. Okay, you know, no questions. I'm gonna end the live.